Hi everybody. Today I'm going to try to do a little bit of like a day in the life vlog because I don't get to do them too often because I'm usually very busy. But I figured why not? Let's give it a try. I don't know how long it'll be because for those of you who've been with me a while, you know I don't show my kids in videos. But for those of you who are new, I don't. I just don't like to. So, and there's, you don't know who's on the internet. A bunch of weirdos could be on there trying to look at your kids. So I just don't put them on there. I know some parents do, and that's cool if that's their choice, but I don't choose to. So, like, even if I get cornered, like, parts of them in there, I usually try to block them out or whatever. But anyways, so yeah, it makes it hard when I'm trying to do, like, day in the lives or vlogs or anything with the kids when they're home, because I am with my kids a lot during the day because we're together. So, we'll see how much we get done. Halloween coffee cup. I realized I only have 2 coffee mugs for like fall Halloween. I have a big pumpkin one. I'm very surprised by that because with the way I like it, you would think I had a bunch. I have more Christmas ones, I think, than that. So this year, when TJ Maxx or Home Goods has mugs out, I need to get on my Halloween mug game because that is not many, and I need more. So if all my family wants to drink out of holiday themed mugs, they can't because I only have 2. So I gotta get on that. It's usually when the season's coming close. I know it's the end of July, and there's some of you that are gonna be like, it is not coming close. It is for me. I like to drink out of the holiday themed mug that's coming. But anyways, I just put bacon in the oven for the kids. They're still sleeping. Chris had to go to the store this morning to go get metal because he's gonna work on some things because he really only has Sundays to do it now. I mean, he could when he comes home from the market, but a lot of times he just doesn't have time. So he's going to go and get that stuff, and he woke me up and let me know he was leaving. And then after that, I just couldn't go back to sleep. So I was like, forget it. I might as well get up and start my day. I had a terrible migraine the other day while we were at the market, which is awful. My insurance doesn't cover the medicine that works really well for me, so they gave me something else, and that has horrible side effects that made me feel so sick. So today, of course, is a major crap show because I get, like, it feels like I'm hungover the next day. I know it happens to a lot of people that get migraines, especially the kind I get, where once again, if you're new, you wouldn't know because I only talked about it a couple times. I have I think I'm saying it right, hemiplegic migraines. What ends up happening is my arm on either side of my body goes numb and I can't feel it. It crawls up my hand, goes up into my neck, in my face, and a lot of times I can't feel my tongue, my mouth, any of it. And it usually only does one side. Sometimes it'll start on one side and switch to the other and stop. It's never both sides at once, but it's awful. And the pain I get is terrible in my head, and I cannot see. I lose vision in like one of my eyes, and it's horrifying. The first time I had one, I thought I was having a stroke or a heart attack because I didn't know, and I was 16 when I first started getting them. A lot of people, it's usually genetic, but no one in my family has it. It's like a gene mutation. Or you can get a gene mutation just out of nowhere and no one else in your family can have it but you, and I guess there's a chance of passing it on to your own, which is wonderful for my children. So before I found the doctor I go to now in North Carolina, nobody was treating me for it. I just kind of dealt with them, and I took a lot of Excedrin, and it didn't really help. But she's a good doctor, and she has actually the same thing, so she knew exactly what I was talking about when I was explaining it to her, and now I'm on the proper medication to deal with it. Like I said, this one has side effects, but they're not lasting half as long as they used to because now I'm medicated for it. So yeah, there's a little, just a little background on why these happen and what they are. I don't think a lot of people get them. It's like on the rarer side, but it is terrible. So anyways, when that happens, the next day is pretty much trash for me. And I feel like I just want to lay down and like just sleep all day because it feels like being hungover after a night of drinking, which I haven't had too many of those in my life, but I've had enough to know what it feels like. So yeah, that's the best way to describe it. But anyways, enough of that. I'm making bacon right now. Today I want to make a stew for the kids, and I know it's hot as heck. It's like 90 degrees outside, but I'm feeling the fall vibes. I want to live my best fall life. I like comfort food, and the kids like comfort food. And Lily really likes when I make stew, and I don't make it often. I usually do a winter squash stew, but I wasn't buying all that squash. I felt like it would be really weighing down, heavy, make you feel sick, and a lot of stuff lately is just making me feel ill. So I am not, like, my whole dinners and stuff I make, a lot of it I can't eat certain things right now because I'm just not feeling well with it. And like my kids are so picky and they don't like a lot of the same things, and some of them don't like squash, so I'm like, I'm just gonna make beef stew with potatoes and onions and carrots, and that should be good. Nothing, out of the ordinary. Chris really don't like squash too much either, but in the winter when when squash's in season, we'll kind of like probably make it. And then I was gonna buy rolls, but Sister Schubert's is the one we usually buy, and they are like $5 for a small round ring of baby rolls. I'm not paying $5 for rolls. That's insane. I will make them myself. I have a roll recipe, so we'll do that today. I've made them once before. I might have been in Christmas, but we're gonna make them today. And I also, what I thought was neat? I've had this book for a while. It's the Amish Community Cooking. I got it from Ollie's. It was cheap. I was watching Our Tribe of Many yesterday. I watch a couple different YouTubers with families and stuff. I'm not very consistent. Like, I'll watch one and then I'll miss like 7 episodes of her thing, and then I'll watch like a couple here and there with my mom. But she had also, her mother bought her this book, and I always thought that was funny because I don't know where she got it from, but I got mine from Ollie's. And I was like, wow, hers was a little nicer but it was the same book. Like, hers was like a hardcover and it had like the spiral in it, like holding all the pages together. Mine's just, a book. But I thought that was funny. But I love Amish stuff, and I've showed this before, I think, like a while ago, and I made a couple recipes out of there. A lot of the dinners are, I don't like casseroles and stuff, so I don't really make a lot of those things. But what I want to make today is, where is it? I'll find it. Bread. They have breads in here, and that's, I feel like, why I probably bought it, because everyone loves bread. I love cinnamon bread, and in my last video I was talking about this. I love cinnamon bread. I got some one time in like a little Christmas kit thing. It was delicious, and my family loves cinnamon bread, and unfortunately you can't find a lot of cinnamon bread recipes, cinnamon sugar, or like, I don't want that. I want a cinnamon bread. So this is gonna make 4 loaves. That's a lot of bread. I figure I will freeze some of it because we're not eating 4 loaves of bread. That's crazy. So packages of yeast I don't have, but I have a jar of yeast when I was going crazy making a lot of like, bready stuff. And that was like around Christmas, but it's good for a while. And then, it's cinnamon bread, and it's pretty simple looking. Margarine, powdered milk. Well, I do not have powdered milk. And this is why you should read this before you go to the store. I'll figure it out. I'll look online and see if I can use something else. But powdered milk, probably could use regular milk, right? 2 teaspoons of salt, 4 cups of hot water, 12 cups of flour. That's a lot of flour. I bought a bag just for this because I figured I'd use a lot. And then some sugar and a lot of cinnamon. It should be easy. We'll see how it goes. Me and the girls are going to do this, and I figured, see how it works out. We love cinnamon breads. So I'm going to do that. A couple things around the house need to be done because last weekend was Chris's birthday, and I did try to clean because I usually save the majority of the cleaning goods done on Sunday because I'm busy during the week. That's just how it is. So yeah, today I need to mop. Lottie needs to be like groomed and stuff because I brush her and stuff, but she needs like a bath, and she needs her nails cut because they're growing constantly and they need to be cut. So I'm going to cut her nails, and then we got to mop. I got to get ahead on laundry. I have a crap ton of laundry that needs to be done. I usually try to maintain the laundry and the dishes and like the regular chores every day. Just sometimes I get behind, especially when we're busy. So I want to do all that and clean up the house, make the dinner, make the rolls, make the bread, and we'll see how much of it we get done. I also need to give Gabriel a haircut because his hair is starting to look like a mullet and it needs to be cut. There's nothing wrong with mullets, but he is not having one. He doesn't like when his hair gets long in the back, so I need to cut it. And yeah, that's pretty much how the day is going to go. So come along with me, and I'll try to get in as much content as we can. And I'll be back in a little bit.
Hey guys, I'm doing a voiceover just because it was super loud when I videoed this that day, and I'm hoping it comes out well because this is my first one, so we'll see how it goes. I just bought a bunch of cubed like stew meat. Usually I buy my own roast, but I was not having it this week. I did not want to cut it up. I did not want to put the effort in, so I just bought the stew meat, and for a little bit more money, it saved me time. I'm sprinkling flour over it, probably about half a cup or so, just to kind of coat the meat. Most recipes I've used for this, it's supposed to make it thicker. It doesn't always help. Like this time when I did it, it was quite soupy. I wanted to put tomato paste in there like I usually do for my winter squash soup, but stew, but it did not. I forgot completely about it when I was at the store. So I don't know what happened there. A lot of times, you know how that is. You go shopping, and if you don't write it down, it's over. But sometimes I do write it down, and I still don't get it on there. But I was just kind of tossing it in there. I should have used cornstarch when it was all done to thicken it. And if you're going to follow this, I would suggest you do the same when it's almost done, or before you have it, just thicken it up a bit. Because, like I said, it was more like a soup, which I wasn't a big fan of. I wish it would have been a little bit thicker. And then I cut up some onions to put in there. It's really simple stew. I'm very lazy that day, didn't want to do much. I cut up some potatoes, as much as you think you're going to need for your family. I cut up quite a bit for ours, and I cut up some carrots for that. I also used some beef broth. I believe I used about a cup. 2 cups actually, because that's a 2-cup measure. I like to use the powder. I think it works well, and I don't have to waste broth. Paprika, I just put in about as much as I wanted. You could season it with whatever you guys wanted. That's just what we like. Some thyme, that was what I had left over from the garden. I wish I would have had a little bit more, but it still came out pretty good. And then I believe I also have salt and pepper in there. I don't think I put any garlic in. I thought about buying cloves, but once again, I just forgot when I was at the store, and I didn't think minced garlic would be great in that. I also am going to add some more water just because I don't think that's enough. Even though there will be liquid from the beef, I think you definitely need more to make it more like a stew. And I also do not want anything to burn. So now I'm going to make some rolls. For this, you need 2 tablespoons of yeast, a 1/4 cup of sugar, a cup of warm water, 1/3 of a cup of oil, 1 beaten egg, 1 tablespoon of butter, half teaspoon of salt, and 3 to 4 cups of flour, and 1/8 cup of room temperature milk. The sugar, the yeast, the oil, and I believe the water will go in together. This is super easy. I am usually not great at yeast things, but I can make these rolls and they rise. So I'm pretty proud of that. They're really easy. They're called 30-minute rolls, and I will link the recipe. I did make these once before, probably around Thanksgiving. My family really likes them, but this time I think they came out really good compared to Thanksgiving. They're always pretty good, but this time was like superior to last time. So I just let that sit for a little bit, and then it gets all foamy, which, by the way, the jar I think is way better than using the packets. The packets never work for me. That jar of stuff does. We put our egg in and our butter, our salt, and then we're going to give it a little stir. I've probably made these 4 or 5 times, and like I said, this was the best time they came out. I did cook them a little longer, so they were more like a store looking one, like on the top. They were really good. And then I do use a dough hook. They say you can knead it, but why knead if I can just use the mixer, you know? I'm all about keeping it. And then after this, we're going to start adding flour, and that's going to start coming together. Now I'm going to take the dough out, and you're supposed to roll it into about 18 rolls. I think I got 15 out of this. You know, just the best you can. Get them in there, depending on how many you want. Some of mine were small, some of mine are way too big, which could also be why I had to bake it a little bit longer because they were doughy. But I'm going to do that and then cover them with a towel. You can let them rise under the towel for about, it's parchment paper and a towel, and it says as little as 10. I let mine rise for about 25 minutes just to make sure they were going to be some good hearty size rolls. And then you just brush them with some milk. I think it gives it a good flavor compared to if you didn't. There has been times I've been lazy and I have not brushed them with milk, but they do taste a little bit better, I think, when you do. And then you're going to cook them in the oven at 400 degrees for, it says 10 to 12 minutes, but I'm pretty sure I cooked mine for almost 20. But I also think it's because I had such big rolls in my pan instead of making smaller ones. But I'm going to continue to do that, and then I will be back. There's our finished rolls and our dinner. As you can see, I forgot to put on the video and film them before we ate, but that's okay. You know how it is. But yeah, I wish I could have got a little bit more of my day. It was really busy, and like I said, I was not feeling well, so it was a struggle to get pretty much everything done that I did get done. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video and my first voiceover for a video. I hope it went well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.